For the fourth day in a row, a pair of brown corduroy jeans that sag at the knees and butt, a gray Oregon Rocks t-shirt, and a pair of blown-out Skechers. On her back is a 20-pound pack that includes, among other things, several dozen broken pencils, 2 or 3 sacked lunches she thinks I don't know she hasn't eaten, and a 20-pound, and a science book so, where am I here? And a science book so heavy, it makes you wonder if there really is that much science a 7th grader needs to know. She drops everything on the floor, kicks off her shoes, and starts to walk down the hall past my writing room. She knows I'm in there. I'm always in there. She doesn't stop. "Hi," I call out. "So how was school?" She turns her head and gives me a look. There may be nothing quite so withering as the look an almost teenage daughter can give her mother. What is it exactly? That look: exasperation, annoyance, disgust, and that's on a good day. See, the few daughters in here that I know, our daughters are like nodding their heads at that. Sometimes it's pure, unadulterated antipathy. She sighs dramatically and mutters something under her breath. I don't want to know what she says. I know where this afternoon is going. "So how was school?" I repeat. I hear the false, purposefully brightness in my voice, and of course so does she. Why am I doing this? It's like baiting a bear. She's edged back into view, standing in the doorway of my room. Her hand is on her hip, her head cocked to one side, her eyes focused on a point about 6 inches above my head. I know this posture. I stood in front of my own mother like this countless times. The stance communicates 2 of the sacred tenets of teen girlhood: boredom and defiance. The message is unmistakable. I choose to ignore it. "School?" I prompt. "You're always asking me about school," she says accusingly. "Stop asking me about school." "Well," I say sweetly. This is, of course, how I remember me. "Well," I say sweetly. Because I get to write the book, so I get to, that's how you spend 7 hours a day, 5 days a week, so naturally she interrupts me. "I hate school," she says. "You don't really hate school," I say. "I hate it." "No, you don't." "Yes, I do." "No, you don't." I'm listening to this conversation as if I were not the one enmeshed in it, and I don't believe what I'm hearing. She's 12 and in a crappy mood. What's my excuse? It's a cliche that adults revert to being children when we visit our own parents. I wonder if I'm the only mother of an almost teenage girl who reverts to being a teenager when faced with her daughter. It wasn't always this way. There was for us a golden era. This is the one that Zan is in the middle of now, but not in the middle, but like on the bad edge of. A magic decade of peace, love, and understanding that's common in the early years of the mother-daughter relationship. It's like you get a free pass for the first decade. Or not. Okay. Those are the years when, you're probably going to really laugh at this one back there. These are the years when mommy is a saint and a genius, beautiful and beneficent, the font of everything cool and fun. I remember scores of Wednesday afternoons my daughter Lizzie and I spent together when she was in elementary school. Wednesday was early release day. I'd pick her up at school, and we would go sometimes roller skating or bowling, or spend an hour at a downtown tea room sipping hot chocolate. We did projects, friendship bracelets, candles. We rode bicycles. We hung out at pet shops, oohing and eyeing at puppies and letting ferrets crawl up our arms. Her arms. I'd never let that happen. If this sounds a bit precious, it was, but in the unironic sense of the word. Special, beloved. She actually looked forward to these times. I remember those days as clearly as if they were yesterday. Wait a minute, they were yesterday. Yesterday we spent an hour talking preteen nonsense. Who has a crush on whom, whose school locker has the weirdest decorations, and drinking hot chocolates at Starbucks. We walked arm in arm back to the car. She put in a Lucinda Williams CD, and we drummed together on the dashboard. But hold on. Yesterday was also when, just a half hour after we got home from our happy adventure, World War III broke out over the issue of eating fish. Lizzie shot me, okay, where am I? Her mood blackened. Lizzie shot me the signature look, stomped upstairs, slammed the door, cranked up the music in her room, and then later refused a goodnight kiss. That's when you can really get me. Now you know. Who is this girl I live with, this 12-year-old, this daughter I wanted so badly and now don't know how to connect with? And who do I turn into when we lock horns, as we do most days, on, well, just about everything? We fight about taking showers and choosing appropriate clothing, food and nutrition, table manners, chores, homework, screen time. We fight over everything and nothing. Most mornings we eye each other warily, waiting to see who will cast the first stone. Neither of us free of sin, both of us well armed. So, it doesn't take that many mornings like that to realize that you have to do something. And because I'm a writer, and writing gives me an excuse, I guess, to fall headlong into a project and have the kind of concentration and energy that you have to have when you have a project of some sort. I made this my project. And my project was understanding 21st century teen girl culture, the milieu in which my daughter was coming of age, and trying to navigate as well as I could the mother-daughter relationship. The relationship I had with my own mother was really rocky, and I didn't want the same kind of stormy weather to capsize the relationship I had with my daughter. And it seemed that it might in these early teen years. So as Anne said in her introduction, I took this on as a project, and that meant for me reading actually a number of those books that Anne mentioned about that have the funny titles that make you think that there's a simple answer and that you can laugh your way through the teen years as a mother, which is not true. There is laughter, but it's pain too. So I read everything I could read. I interviewed, as Anne said, teachers and coaches and parents and kids and therapists and even a shaman to try to figure out what goes on between daughters and mothers. I heard many times and read also in several places that the mother-daughter relationship is the single most important relationship in a woman's life. So for those of you guys who have girlfriends or partners or wives, you'll have to deal with that. And so one of the places I went in this journey was inside the teen brain, not literally, through reading research. And I thought that I would share a little bit about that. First, I want to quote from one of these books that I read. And this is a pretend conversation between a doctor and a parent. And this is how it goes. So the doctor says to the parent, "She is suffering from a transient psychosis with an intermittent rage disorder punctuated by episodic radical mood swings. But her prognosis is good for full recovery." And the parent says, "What does that mean?" And the doctor says, "She's 13. So, as I was reading, sitting in my kitchen table with a pile of these books about teen brains, I, of course, have the teen brain in action.